Hello, everyone, and we are back on the Argyle Way. This is a little bit of a weird upload, but we are doing our EFL Championship predictions. This is now going to be weekly. We're now going to take them off our streams because I feel that, first of all, it will shorten our streams down, and secondly, it gives us more. It gives us more to upload on our channel. It gives us more of more gives us more of a branch really of you can do streams and then do videos as well. So it gives us more to do. Well, I'm not going to try and make myself too busy, but it gives us more to do for predictions wise, and then it takes them off our streams, and then we can have more topics to talk about on streams, which is great to do. But we're making this weekly, which is great, and obviously, I will end up editing these, so lovely to see. But we have our guests on. We have Liam, Henry, and Jack on tonight.
I was going to say this is a new one. This is the first time I recorded at God midnight. So let's go.
Yeah, I was about to say it's around 10 minutes past midnight, so we're trying to be as quiet as we can, but hopefully it will end up being great and it can all go handy dandy for the rest of this recording. So what are we doing for these predictions videos? So obviously it's just our usual predictions. It's just your usual predictions, but we have a guest on every single week. Henry's on today, which is absolutely fantastic.
And we take the title as the very first guest of everyone.
Yep, which is absolutely fantastic. But obviously it's our usual as well. And then when a guest comes on, they will then take part as the guest, or as I'll obviously put Henry in for this week's predictions as part of the Argyle Way. So now we'll have guests on to take part ahead of Liam, Jack, and me. So there could be new winners. Fantastic. But hopefully someone will be able to stop Liam because Liam keeps on winning every single week. So absolutely great for that to be a new thing on the Argyle Way. So we're not stealing from Alex Griffin. Sorry. I was about to say we're not stealing from Alex Griffin. Let's just leave it at that. So let's get on. Let's get on with today's.
Now the right word is we're being inspired by him.
We're being inspired. Yes. Sorry, Alex Griffin. We're inspired by all of your videos. But let's get into today's video prediction. First game is it's a Friday kickoff. Leeds versus West Brom. Recently, Leeds have been very, very poor in the start of the season, and they've drawn against Cardiff, lost against Birmingham. They have been so poor, and I don't. Where do you think this has mainly come from, though? It's honestly very, very surprising. But as you can also see as well, the amount of players that's leaving their club, not looking good. But I'm gonna say it's a hard one because they're against a decent team in West Brom, and West Brom, they have been pretty decent. They did win the other day, 3-2. I think they won 3-2, wasn't it?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they won 3-2. Yeah. It's going to be a tough game for Leeds, and I'm going to say 2-1 Leeds. I'm going to say 2-1 Leeds. It will be a hard game as West Brom are hard to play against, but it depends who they play on the day. Simple as that. Goal scorer. It's hard as well because most of the main players are gone now.
I'll go have a look now.
I'm going to go for Gelhardt. I'm going to go for Gelhardt. Yeah. And probably a lot of people forgot he plays for them, but next one, Liam.
I'll go 1-1 for this one personally. I just don't think Leeds look as amazing as what people would think this season. They would some people would think they would go up or get playoffs, but I've gone for a draw in this one, 1-1, and get Gelhardt to score.
You know what's interesting? I feel the same as Liam. I think it could be a draw, to be honest, but I'm also leaning towards a tight like 1-0 Leeds win or something. I'm not sure, but I do agree because I mean, like ever since the start of the season, I thought one of the 3 relegated teams would not finish in the playoffs, and that I predicted being Leeds. Harvey had Southampton, of course. I had Southampton in the playoffs. Meanwhile, then of course we've all got Leicester going up. Leeds, I just didn't think they'd bounce back immediately from being relegated, but I didn't expect them to have this kind of start because I had them to beat Cardiff and they didn't. I had them to get a point at St Andrews and they didn't. So this is a must-win for them from that point of view. And of course, they'll be looking to get their first win of the season as well. West Brom, if they both get a point or win this, then there's huge pressure on Daniel Farke already after 3 games. But you know what? I think they'll frustrate Leeds. I agree with Liam. I am going to go with a draw, but I'm going to say 0-0. I think it'll be that frustrating. I'm going to go 0-0.
I don't want to watch a 0-0 game. Go away.
That's nothing to do with what you want, Liam. It's just that's what I genuinely think. But having said that, we're gonna hear this. We're gonna hear this every single week now. We do these videos. But then again, if there is goals, I am also leaning towards a 2-2 draw.
Yeah.
What other games? I'm just having a look at all the rest. No, I'll stick with 0-0. I'll stick with 0-0 because of others that I think there's one coming that I've got as 2-2. But my chosen goal scorer, I will go. You know what? I'll go the same as you guys. I'll go with Gelhardt for a change.
Yep. Fair enough. But next game for the predictions is obviously it's the 12:30 kickoff. It is Argyle versus Southampton. We had to get it done. It's a 12:30 kickoff. We're going in order.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
It's a 12:30 kickoff on Sky Sports. We usually win on Sky Sports, but do I see us winning?
I'll tell you what, mate, we definitely have a chance of winning on Saturday.
We have a chance. There's a possibility we could
win. We're underdogs, but that's not the point. We definitely have a chance on Saturday. And I've spoken to a lot of Southampton fans after I went to Pompey versus Exeter on Tuesday night, and they're all crapping themselves for Saturday. They're really some aren't confident, and then there's others that think they're going to smash us.
Yeah, plus they're deluded fans.
Yeah, fair enough. But my prediction for this game, Southampton are a good team, obviously recently relegated from the Premier League. It is going to be hard for them to bounce back up to the Prem, as obviously they haven't been in the Championship in 10 years, and they are now starting to feel the reality of the Championship after drawing 4-4 to Norwich last week. And it's going to be hard for them to bounce back. I did predict them 8th this season, but from the way they're playing, they look like they could finish higher than that, in my honest opinion. But in this game, it's going to be hard for them. They're coming down to home park, a fortress, basically, from what we were calling our ground last season after we were so good last season. But I could see us drawing this game. I'm sorry to say, but I could definitely see us drawing this game. But I'm going to say 2-2.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. I agree with you on the draw, but I'll get on to me in a minute.
2-2. I could definitely see us getting goals, but I can see Southampton getting goals as well. But it will be very, very close and another very open game, but with goals this time. As us against Watford, we defended very well. Watford defended pretty well. It was just defense versus defense. But in this game, I could see us definitely defending being very open, and I could see there being a lot of goals. But goal scorers wise, I'm probably going to say a Southampton player, which I rarely do for a game for a team Argyle plays against. But I'm going to say Armstrong. It is expected, but will he score? It's either him or Che Adams. So
who did you back for the Watford game last week? One of our players for Watford.
I think I backed Whitaker. Did I?
Okay.
No. I think it was either Whitaker or Bio.
Well, I was just gonna say it just sums up the reality of the Championship, doesn't it? So there we go.
Yeah, 100%. And it could happen. You never know. It could happen. So we'll see what happens with that. But just wait for Liam as he's just doing something. All right.
Go away,
what is your
Fly.
predictions, Liam?
Stupid Fly, go away. I've said a 2-1 win.
I don't blame you. We definitely have a chance.
Yeah. And then goal scorer and reasons why?
Backed Hardy, and I just think our home form's decent, and personally I think Southampton coming down to us will be hard for them.
Definitely. And we pulled off surprises for 4. You never know. We'll see what happens coming up to Saturday. But Jack,
I agree with Liam. I think it'll be a really hard day at the office for them. But I don't see either side losing. I've gone with a 1-1 draw. I think it'll be 1-1. And I can't remember. My goal scorer is really hard to pick as well. But I've backed Mumba at the end, probably purely because of his brilliance against Huddersfield. I don't know why I can see something similar again on Saturday. And, well, I just don't see either side losing on Saturday, personally. I think we'll stay unbeaten after the 3rd game of the season. So, yeah, I'm going to sit with 1-1.
Fair enough. Henry's just come back as well. But what's your predictions for Argyle Southampton?
I'm thinking 2-2.
2-2. Same as me. Same as me.
And then look at the smile on his face when Harvey listened to that.
But what's your goal scorer?
I was thinking Mumba as well.
See that is someone I was thinking of, but I more thought of a Southampton player because it's more of a chance, as obviously Southampton, they have scored quite a lot more. They've scored more goals than us already. They've scored 6 goals this season already. So, but it's a good prediction anyway. But I'm not saying Mumba won't score. He could score. Anybody could score. Next game on the predictions is Blackburn Hull. Well, to be honest, Blackburn recently they did win that. They did win last week. I think they did win last week, wasn't it? Did they win last week? If I'm sure.
No, they drew. They drew with Rotherham.
I thought it was the other week. But they drew to Rotherham, which was a very, very surprising result. And they beat West Brom 2-1 at the start of the season. It's a good start. Well, it's a pretty decent start for Blackburn. They want to fight for playoffs again this season. But they're coming up against a side in Hull City who recently just signed Scott Twine. Yeah. Welcome back, Scott Twine, to the Championship, and he'll be coming back to Home Park. God, I want to punch my screen so hard, but hey ho, I'm not going to do that because I won't have any computer. I won't have a computer left. There you go. But that's what I think of Scott Twine, and hopefully he doesn't do that again at Home Park.
Can I just say, you know what the most irritating thing about that is? Our last game of the season is against Hull at home, and who's going to be playing? Scott Twine. So I hope it doesn't bloody.
Oh, piss off! Piss off!
We'll be safe.
It's written in the stars, isn't it?
We'll be safe by then.
We should be safe by then.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's just written in the stars, isn't it? We got to face Scott Twine at home on the last game of the season.
Yeah. Hey ho, we move. But predictions wise, Blackburn just recently drawing 2-2 to Rotherham. They were lucky they drew that game as Rotherham got a red card. They were very, very lucky. They didn't play well. And beating West Brom 2-1. It's going to be tough for them going up against a decent Hull City side right now. Do I see them winning the game? No, but they possibly could. It's 50-50. But I could see Hull City winning it as well. It's a 50-50 one. But I'm gonna say 2-1 Hull. It makes
That can happen, you know. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked at all.
But I am going to say 2-1 Hull City. So, goal scorer wise, Niall Ennis. No, I'm not saying Niall Ennis. Don't worry. I'm not saying Niall Ennis. We're not taking the piss here. But I'm going to say Shimodix for as the goal scorer.
Yeah, he scored a double against Rotherham last week.
He could
scored
score.
a double.
Yeah, he scored a double last week, and I feel like he could possibly score again, but it depends who's starting. Like I said, it depends who's starting, so we'll see what happens with that. But and now Liam with your predictions.
2-1 Hull and 2 Van to score.
Reasons why?
I think Hull's on good form, and Blackburn, obviously, they drew to Rotherham, which, to be honest, maybe they shouldn't be doing that. In all due respect to Rotherham. So yeah, that's why I've gone for a Hull win.
Fair enough. And Jack?
I agree with Liam that I think Ozan Tufan's going to score, but I see Blackburn getting a point in this. So this is my third draw in a row, 2-2.
Oh, there you go. Another draw for Jack. And Henry? Your predictions?
Let's go 1-0 Blackburn.
1-0 Blackburn. Who to score?
Niall Ennis.
Stupid fly.
Niall Ennis just because he's a former Argyle player.
Yeah, just go back Niall Ennis.
To be fair, he did play against Rotherham last week.
Yeah, he did play against Rotherham, and if it wasn't for the deflection, he would have got an assist there. So fair enough. I don't blame you for saying that. Next game is Bristol City versus Birmingham City. Two teams that could be batting it out this season for a top half finish. One of them in interest could be finishing higher than we think. Could possibly be going for a playoff fight. In a lot of people say, could it be Birmingham City's year? We don't know. They never usually finish this high. They never usually finish high in the league. They haven't finished high in the league since the early 2010s. I'd say that's the last time they got promoted. But I don't know. They rarely do it, but they have had a decent start this season. Obviously, beating Leeds 1-0, which is a fantastic result. And I think a lot of Birmingham fans are getting very, very excited with the season ahead. But for predictions-wise, I'm going to say 1-0 Birmingham with Siriki Dembele to score.
Wouldn't shock me if they won, to be honest. They look really good at the moment.
They look really, really good. What's yours, Liam?
2-1 Bristol City for me. I think Bristol's on good form, obviously coming back off a win against... I can't remember who it was now.
Millwall. It was Millwall.
Millwall, that's the one. So yeah, 2-1 Bristol and Naki Wells to score.
Fair enough.
Again, I think this will be I think it'll be a really tight game. They're both not doing too bad. I think the only downside for Bristol City was their opening game against Preston, which Preston got a point out of course. So that was obviously very frustrating from their point of view. But that Millwall win impressed me a lot. Birmingham, of course, I wasn't surprised they beat Leeds, to be honest. I went with a draw at the end, but they're looking. I think they're already looking so much better than this time last year already. I think they've made some improvements this summer and all that as well. I agree with Harvey that I think Dembele is going to score. But again, this is another game I don't see either side losing. I think it'll be really tight. So this is another 1-1 draw. I see Birmingham getting a point at Ashton Gate.
Fair enough. And you put Siriki Dembele to score, right?
Yeah, I'll go with Dembele.
Yeah. And probably, I think a lot of people will be going for him. And then what's your prediction, Henry?
I think Dembele as well will score.
Yeah, I think it's nearly a clean sweep, except for Liam, who put Naki Wells.
Yeah, and I think Birmingham will get a 2-1 away win.
Birmingham 2-1 away win. Very interesting one. It could happen. Birmingham are in very decent form. They after beating Leeds last, which is a fantastic result. So anything could happen. They could pull off a surprise away win. We'll see what happens. And then probably the easiest game I think we've probably got on the predictions wise, Leicester, Cardiff. Leicester recently, I would say after winning 2 games in a row, 2-1 win to Coventry, 1-0 win to Huddersfield. It was expected wins, but from what I've been hearing, Huddersfield maybe could have had something more in the game. But it's usual Leicester City. You would expect that from them being in the Championship. They would probably get the wins. They will graft the wins under their new manager, Maresca. And they're doing very well right now. And it is kind of expected with the team that they've got. And then obviously going up against a Cardiff side who's recently just lost to QPR. Not a great result, but it's going to be very, very interesting for this matchup, as the last time they faced each other was back in the Premier League in 2018, which is absolutely crazy times. And Cardiff beat them at the King Power Stadium 1-0 thanks to a Camarasa goal. And then a couple of months earlier, Leicester beat them 1-0 away from home from a Damari Gray goal. So
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Cardiff's record against Leicester is actually pretty decent.
They've all won 3 times and drew 3 times. So there you go.
Wow, okay, fair enough.
So from the last 9 games. But for this prediction, I'm going to go for 3-0 Leicester. I think they will be dominant in this game, and they will probably show their true power in the Championship. They'll show their true prowess. They'll show their true ability and footballing ability. Really, they will be a very dominant game, I think, and they will show why they will be the teams to beat this season. And basically, I think they will be unstoppable against Cardiff. Simple as that. But your prediction, Liam?
2-0 Leicester, and Ian Atchell to score. Yeah, likewise, really. I think Leicester be too strong for Cardiff.
Jack?
Same as Liam. I think Ian Atchell will score, but I think Cardiff will will try and do everything they can to pull off a bit of a fight, but ultimately, I think Leicester's going to be too strong for them. 3-1.
Who was your goal scorer, Harv? Roosevelt.
My goal scorer, I forgot to say it. It's a tough one, really, because they've got a lot of goal scorers right now, but I am going to go for Iheanacho with Julian.
Nice. And him.
There you go.
Yeah.
What is your prediction, Henry?
I think 3-1 Leicester and Dewsbury Hall to score.
It was either him or Dewsbury. It was either Dewsbury Hall or Iheanacho for me. And next game, Middlesbrough versus Huddersfield. Obviously, if you know who he is, Daryl, he has come on this channel multiple times. We're not going to try and upset him. Only joking. We might probably upset you. So if you are watching this video, tough craps. But Middlesbrough recently have been in such poor form, losing 2 games in their first 2, which is what I didn't expect, what I think a lot of people didn't expect. But from the way they've been playing, they've been absolutely poor. And right now, don't know what's going on. And obviously, recently, losing Chuba Akpom, who's gone to Ajax, I think will probably be a big move for the player and a very... Wait, what?
I was just saying, I didn't realise he left. That's news to me.
Yeah, he went to Ajax for around 18 mil.
No, okay.
So... bad, and that's bad news for Middlesbrough fans, and it will be a big, big blow for them as he was their top goal scorer last season. He was in hot form, and it's going to be a big loss for them. And then them coming up against a Huddersfield side that has as under manager Neil Warnock, they've lost both of their first 2 games as well, and against Plymouth Argyle and Leicester. It'll be tough for them to bounce back, but we'll see how they get on against Middlesbrough. Neil Warnock loves to play against Middlesbrough. Could he get a result? That's what I'm thinking for my predictions. We could do it, but I'm not sure. I think Middlesbrough could bounce back in this game, but Huddersfield could pull off a surprise, but only time will tell. But I'm gonna go for a 1-0 win for Middlesbrough. I feel like they will get a win. They will bounce back, but I don't think there'll be a lot of goals involved. What's yours, Liam?
2-1 Borough. I'm just looking at my goal score now.
You're trying to find your goal scorer.
I'll go for Crooks.
Crooks, no problem. I'm gonna go for I'll probably might join you on the bandwagon as well. I might go Crooks as well. I think that'll probably be my goal scorer. What's yours, Jack?
I think Hayden Hackney will score for Middlesbrough, but I'm going to put this out there now. I'm going to go. I'm going with 2-1 Huddersfield. I genuinely see it happening. Borough have been shocking so far this season. Haven't impressed me one bit. Neil Warnock likes a good result against Borough as well. Borough hate playing against them, and Huddersfield I thought were really unlucky against Leicester last week. I actually thought they were the better team the whole 90 minutes. I thought they were unlucky to lose it. I can't lie, and I just see Borough's start getting even more frustrating. I honestly do. So yeah, I'm going to back 2-1 to the Terriers.
Fair enough. And Henry?
Obviously, both teams haven't been great to start, so I think it'll be a draw again, 1-1.
1-1. Fair enough. And then I'm trying to think of who you're going to predict as a goal scorer, but I don't. Who are you predicting?
I was thinking Crooks as well.
Because I thought you'd have predicted somebody else, but you've gone for the same as me and Liam. Fair enough. But could Middlesbrough bounce back? Could they get a win? And could they get points back on the road? We will see. Only time will tell. Next game in the predictions, QPR versus Ipswich. A team that Ipswich do not like to face, as QPR have beaten them so many times at Loftus Road. God knows how many times they have beaten them. But could Saturday for Ipswich be the day where they finally beat QPR at Loftus Road after a long time? Could it happen? I could see it potentially happen after the way Ipswich have played in the first 2 games of the season, 2 wins for them, and being top of the league right now doesn't matter. Well, being top of the league right now doesn't matter in the sense of how obviously being in right now, but for how he's playing wise, they're playing very, very well. Kieran McKenna doing a very, very good job, and honestly, I could see him bagging 3 points against QPR. It could be a turning point for them if they're going to prove a lot of people, a lot of doubters wrong of where they could finish. And against a QPR side who have been pretty poor, but in the last game beating Cardiff, and
It was a very good win for them.
A very good win for them. But could they win against Ipswich? Well, for my predictions,
Gareth Ainsworth knows how to beat Kieran McKenna.
He does know. But I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Ipswich win. That is my prediction, and Broadhead to score. Simple as that. And what about yours, Liam?
2-0 Ipswich.
Fair enough.
Broadhead.
And you, Jack?
I think QPR will give them a game at home, but I think Ipswich will be too strong for them at the end. I've gone with 4-2 to Ipswich. Chaplin to score.
Goodness me. 4-2. Lovely. What about you, Henry?
3-1 Ipswich.
3-1 Ipswich. Scorer?
And Broadhead, probably.
Broadhead, fair enough. I think a lot of people will be predicting Ipswich to win as how well they have played the last couple games. I think it could possibly be either an Ipswich win, or you could see a scrapper. You could see QPR scrape it, but could they scrape it? Probably not.
So
but
the only way I can see QPR winning that is if it was a 1-0 win, basically.
Yeah, basically what Jack said. There you go. And next game for you lot, it is Sheffield Wednesday versus Preston. Sheffield Wednesday recently, 2 games in, very, very poor right now. They're now bringing in more signings. They are bringing in more players in the transfer window. But right now, the way they're playing doesn't show themselves to be, doesn't show themselves into the fight to stay in this league. That it would be, from what I'm saying is, could they stay in the Championship this season? Obviously, I predicted them to finish in the bottom 3 in my EFL Championship predictions. They could survive, but the way they're playing right now, they lost their first 2 games. They're not playing pretty well, and from where they could be by the end of the season, if they keep on playing this way, I don't see them surviving at all. And coming up against a Preston side, Ryan Lowe's team, you know how he plays. We've seen him play at Argyle before. Well, we've seen him manage us at Argyle before. We know how he plays. He plays a 5-back, and he will basically. Sheffield Wednesday they could possibly go at him in this game, but I don't know. It's going to be a very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting battle between these 2 teams, and Ryan Lowe hasn't faced Sheffield Wednesday since when he was at Argyle, so which is pretty crazy. And the last time we faced Sheffield Wednesday when he was at Argyle, we won 3-0. So that's all you need to say about that. But could they beat Sheffield Wednesday? I don't know. I could possibly see Sheffield Wednesday getting their stuff back together and getting their route back into winning ways. I could see them winning 1-0. But who to score? I'm gonna go for a risk of Lee Gregory. It could happen. You never know. Liam.
2-1 Preston and Keane to score.
Fair enough. What about you, Jack?
Exactly the same. Will Keane, but 2-0 Preston. I think they're going to be far too strong for Wednesday, honestly. From what I saw against Hull last week, they were absolutely atrocious. Preston, I thought, were absolutely superb in that win over Sunderland, and I can just see them doing it again, personally.
Yeah. It depends how good you are on a day. Preston were very, very, very good the other day. Sheffield Wednesday were very, very poor, but it depends how good you are in a day. Sheffield Wednesday could pull off a surprise result. We'll see what happens. But what's your prediction, Henry?
I think 3-2 Preston and Josh Windass to score.
Josh Windass to score, and fair enough, that could happen. And could we see a very surprising result, or could we see a pretty expected result? We will see what happens. Next, Stoke City versus Watford. Obviously, last week, Watford played against Plymouth Argyle, drawing 0-0 at home. It was a very, very open game between both sides. Any team could have won it. From the first 2 games, Watford have looked a very, very dominant team. But in the second game at home against Argyle, they looked pretty dominant, but they couldn't put their chances away. Argyle could have won as well, but they couldn't put their chances. Couldn't have put their chances away with decent chances from Ryan Hardy, Adam Randall. But from Watford's point of view, Sema, Martins, Bayo, they couldn't finish their chances, and it ended up being a very frustrating result for them. But coming up against a Stoke City side, they beat 2-0 and 4-0 last season. Could we see a repeat of last season? Maybe, but I feel like it could possibly be a more open game than last season. It was a very dominant result from Watford last season. I could see Stoke probably getting a little bit of a better result this time, but I don't see them winning this game, still. I'm gonna go for a 3-2 Watford win and Bio to score. What is yours, Liam?
2-1 Stoke and Vidigal to score.
Fair enough. And what is yours, Jack?
I'm really not sure, I can't lie. I think Ken Sema will score for Watford. I'll put that out now. But, I'm the same as Liam. I think Stoke can nick it, I'm going to go with 3-1 to Stoke.
Fair enough. What is yours, Henry?
I'm going to go with 2-1 Watford and loser. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Idram Loser, yeah.
Fair enough. And I think someone mentioned him the other day as well, didn't they, Jack?
He was quality last week against us.
He was very, very good. But Watford, they could pull off the same result as last season, or they could end up losing or drawing to Stoke, who are slowly improving as a team. But obviously from Stoke's last 2 games, beating Rotherham and losing to Ipswich, 1 win and 1 loss in the first 2 games. It's not the best of starts, but for Watford, looking to carry on the unbeaten run in the league. Next game, Sunderland versus Rotherham. 2 sides who have been very, very poor at the start of this season, and they can't bag themselves a win to save their lives right now. Rotherham could have won last week, but bottling it after Onyedinma scoring and then getting sent off and absolutely bottling the game. And it was their own fault for their own downfall. That's all you could say about that. Same for Sunderland, losing 2-1 at home to Ipswich and also getting a red card in that game, and losing 2-1 to Preston away from home. From what you can see from the stats as well, looked like a pretty from the stats as well, from what you could see, looked like a pretty decent Sunderland performance. But as you can see from the result, not a good Sunderland performance. But it's going to be an interesting game. 2 sides wanting to get a win, but I don't see any of them getting a win. I could see it being 1-1, and that's going to be my prediction. 1-1, and an interesting goal scorer this time, Joby Bellingham. That is going to be my scorer. What is yours, Liam?
2-0 Sunderland and Clark for me.
And that's the last time you can predict them as well.
Why is it?
Because it's you can't predict the same player 3 weeks in a row, can't you? So, because that's one of the usual rules, anyways.
I don't think I predicted him 3 weeks in a row.
Oh, okay, no problem.
I don't know.
I might have to double check anyway. What is your prediction, Jack?
I think Sunderland will edge it 1-0. Same as you, Harv. I think Bellingham will score.
Fair enough. And what is yours, Henry?
I think 1-0 to Sunderland and Clark to score.
Fair enough. I could see it being. It could end one or 2 ways. It could be a draw. Either team could lose, but I think probably the probable scenario could be a draw, but it could surprise us, and Sunderland or Rotherham could end up getting a win, their first win of the season. Only time will tell. And the 11th game of our EFL Championship predictions: Swansea versus Coventry City. 2 sides where both of them have been, one of them have been pretty decent after, obviously, first game losing to Leicester away from home after putting a very, very good fight, losing 2-1. But Coventry bouncing back with a brilliant performance against Middlesbrough, winning 3-0 at home and getting their run for the playoffs again, back on track from what they would be like to aiming for this season. But and then coming up against a Swansea City side who drawn and lost their first two against Birmingham and West Brom. It's going to be, to be honest, I think it's going to be a very another open game where I think Coventry will be a pretty dominant side, even away from home against Swansea. I feel like they will be the better side. I'm gonna say 2-1 Coventry, and I feel like he will score this week, Ellis Sims. And I hope he does score from the predictions. What is yours, Liam?
2-1 Coventry and Gordon to score.
Fair enough. What is yours, Jack?
I can't lie, I really don't know. This is really hard. Because part of me sees Swansea's first win of the season, but then again, Coventry were outstanding against Middlesbrough. Of course, they gave Leicester a run for their money as well. Do I see them winning on Saturday though? I'm gonna go, nah, bugger it. I'm going with a goal fest. I'm going 3-3. But who am I gonna back to score? Because I don't see Ellis Sims scoring personally. I can't lie. But I am gonna back a Coventry player. I ain't gonna back Ellis Sims though.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go with Matt Godden to score.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What is yours, Henry?
I'm going to say 3-1 Coventry and McFadzean to score, the centre back.
McFadzean. Now that is someone that I did not.
But he
expect,
did it.
but
He
I
did it
think
against
you
Leicester. To be
predicted him.
fair,
You predicted him the other week, didn't you, Jack?
yeah, it didn't work out.
It definitely didn't. If you predicted him in the first game of the season, you would have got a point. Because
Oh
he
no,
did
it would have been
score.
unbelievable, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It'd have been unbelievable, lads. But could he score this week? He could possibly score. He does like to get a goal. But if I'm honestly going to say, I think Coventry could win this game. It could be one of them where either Swansea could get a surprising result, or it could be a dominant result for Coventry. And the final game for the predictions is Norwich versus Millwall. Two sides that have had, I'd say, Millwall, they have had an all right start, beating Middlesbrough away from home 1-0, and then losing 1-0 at home to Bristol City. They've had an all right start, they've had a win, but they have lost as well. They've won away, lost at home. It's an all right start, but comparing it to a Norwich City side who's won against Hull City and drew 4-4 to a very good Southampton side, it's going to be one of them games where I feel it could be a battle between a side who's looking for a battle for playoffs this season against a team that also would like to battle for playoffs this season, but I don't think they will be pretty close to it. I think they could possibly just miss out. And I don't see them getting close to the playoffs this season. But predictions wise, I'm gonna say 2-1 Norwich. And their star man right now, he's been in brilliant form, Jonathan Rowe. And that's honestly, he's been in fantastic form, and he's becoming a star man for Norwich right now, and that's probably what Liam's got for his predictions.
2-1 Norwich and Sargent.
I said you would get the same score, but I didn't expect you to go for
Harvey
Josh
got it
Sargent. Any reasons why
wrong.
for that? Any reasons why you've gone for Sargent?
Not really, no. Just personally think he could score. I mean, I think he scored against Southampton as well. So, yeah, I might just go for that one, really.
Fairs. And what's yours, Jack?
I've gone the complete opposite to you two. I think Millwall's going to nick it 3-2, but I do think Rowe's going to score. I just think. Well, I know they lost to Bristol City at home, but I still think they're going to be the better side on the day on Sunday, and I still rate their team a lot more than Norwich's. But I think Norwich will give them a hell of a game, and like you said, Harvey, Rowe's been on fantastic form, but I think Millwall's going to edge it, and I think they'll go back to winning ways this weekend.
Fair enough. And what is your score? What is your prediction, Henry? Final one.
I can see a draw, I think.
A draw?
I'm going to go 2. Yeah, I'm going to go 2-2 and Rowe to score.
Fair enough. Jonathan Rowe could be the star man in the Championship this season. He's looking to be a very good player this season. But we will see what happens for that game. It is a Sunday kickoff and it is an early kickoff as well. 2 teams battling it out for playoff. And that is it for the EFL Championship predictions. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching. It's going to be a weekly thing, and it's going to be a new I'd say a new era in the Argyle way of the way we are doing, like predictions wise. We'll be getting guests on every week. We'll be trying to get guests on every week for our predictions. It's going to be a new chapter in the Argyle Way YouTube channel, and we're hitting new bounds. 550 subs on the channel right now. Thank you all so much. It's honestly incredible, and it's reaching new highs. We're getting closer. Well, 55% away. Well, 55% completed to 1,000 subs. You're all legends. Thank you all so much for subscribing, hitting the like button on videos, sharing our videos about. Thank you all so much. Thank you for Liam, Jack, Henry coming on. And as our usual, Jack can say it.
Up the Janners, up the Argyle, up the Greens, up the Pilgrims, up the Plymouth. Come on, you boys in green. Big one on Saturday.
We will see you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone. And we'll see you then.
Cheerio.
Bye-bye.
When they pull on the green, they're all Janners. Janners!